in my hands, it's a pipe bomb. I'll kick you in the nuts and you'll smile at me and like it and show me some respect. Attention. Do I have everybody's attention now? Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. I have the balls to say things that nobody else has the balls to say. Do I have everybody's attention now?
YouTube, what is up? This is Greg back along with Brian, along with Des.
Hola.
And the Showstoppers are back in action as we promised. It was a little bit of a wait here, a little bit of a delay, a little bit of a, I don't even know what to really call it. I guess you can say like a little bit of a vacay.
Yeah, let's call it a vacay.
Basically, yeah. Just getting shit together, basically.
Getting our affairs in order.
Yep.
Whatever the case may be, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're going to go ahead and provide you with a few topics tonight. We're going to go ahead and start with Raw. We'll get that pretty much clearing out of the way. I don't really want to touch big on that yet until the time comes when me and Brian can actually really have something to go off of. And then later on, of course, we got Des's pick. We got other topics for you from Gaming System. It's going to be a fun podcast. So this Raw, guys, the United King, no. Even if they made it a filler, the United Kingdom crowd would have fucking put that show over. You could have given anything, and they would have put that show over. I mean, I just love crowds like that. That's why I love going to the Raws after WrestleMania, because honestly, dude, at the end of the day, it's up to us what we make that show. And Raws after WrestleMania, like the ones in Jersey, like the one in Miami, I mean, they're made up of crowds that the UK showed tonight. Like, that was just fucking legit beyond every mean.
They were electric. Only way to describe it.
They were electric to the point of where Rock couldn't even define it back during the Attitude Era. That's how good it was. I mean, they did a great job keeping that energy going. The show itself was good, as far as the angles that they went with. So I was pretty much content with that. Mm-hmm. The breaker for me, I don't even want to touch base on the other matches on Raw, because honestly, they were filler matches, but I'm not saying filler matches in a sense of like they were bad. They were just simply...
Let's defend a few of the matches.
Like which one?
The theme that they went with was because the Authority was on vacation, they had essentially 3 people fighting for control of the show, and each one of the 3 made a handicap match.
Yeah.
I would say all 3 of the handicap matches were strong, with maybe the tag champs versus Orton obviously being the weakest because of the conclusion. But I'd say all 3 of those matches were good. I would say Dolph Ziggler versus Curtis Axel was a really good match. But yeah, as far as matches go, the ones besides those 4, I'll say, were filler.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way they put those matches together. I mean, I get the whole power struggle thing. I think they took away from Kane, though, when they did that. His character is meant to be the director of operations, is what they called him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
If he has a title like that, Brad Maddox and Randy Orton, anybody else, they should pick up on the fact that obviously that sounds like a higher up fucking role. So they should have presented it like Kane had a little bit more control, but hopefully they get better with that later on. We'll see. But I mean, either way, it was good. Now, the mind blower that had the indie fans, that had the internet marks go crazy, was when the Wyatt family and when the Shield stood toe to toe in that ring tonight, and everybody was like, "Oh shit!"
That's pretty crazy.
Shit. It was crazy. Fucking.
It was,
insane.
and you could see it building, because what happened was, it was looking like Punk and Daniel Bryan were about to upset the Shield in a 2-on-3 handicap.
What? How did that turn? I thought the Shield was the Punk,
What?
Nothing.
Oh, see, okay. So Des Punk is a tweener now. So maybe he's not exactly face and not exactly heel. He's just Punk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's
just
not
Punk.
exactly a bad
Punk is
guy
Punk.
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Shield to just get a taste of the Wyatt family and then get a taste of the Shield standing toe to toe in the ring. That shit defines wrestling. When I saw that, I was like, all right, Survivor Series, I'm sold on. And then they combined them together, and I was like, fair enough. We'll get that match eventually, I think. I think if WWE's smart, they're going to give us that match.
They know because they teased us with it. They know that they're going to do it eventually because that's what people want to see.
Exactly. And I cannot wait. I don't care if it's TLC. I don't care if it's Royal Rumble. If you want to wait to Mania to do it, I'm fine with that too. But damn it, let that match happen, please. Please, of
because
all matches.
Both three-man groups have been destroying everybody in their path. So to all of a sudden then see them go up against each other, you're like, oh, shit.
Of all matches, just please let that one happen. I don't care about anything else aside from that. If you mix it up, fine. Fuck it. Do what you got to do. Make that match happen. Until then, Survivor Series, we got the Usos who came out for the save. The Rhodes brothers came out for the save. So obviously we got like a 6v6 thing going on here maybe. Who knows? We'll find out on next week's show. You know what, Brian? The card itself for Survivor Series, they haven't really talked about many matches.
Other than the title matches.
There's like 2 for sure matches. That's it. Mm-hmm. So they're lacking. They're fucking definitely lacking on the card. I'm sure they probably, we should probably check WWE.com. They probably posted something. But you're talking about at least 4 or 5 matches that they're going to have to add on here.
Well, the problem is, and this is what happens every time Survivor Series comes around, 3 of the matches are usually just filler elimination team matches where you just don't even care. Like, they'll probably do one with the stupid Los Matadores. Against like 3MB, and you're just gonna be like,
stop that, please.
No, it's gonna happen now.
Don't
now they
say
incorporate
it.
Santino.
Oh my god! I don't want it to happen. Fucking hate that team so much. And the fucking little horny bull, dude.
They're terrible.
I would rather prefer to watch the Cowboys win than to watch Los Matadores.
Well, let's keep it in wrestling. I would rather watch an entire 3-hour Raw of Divas matches than watch Los Matadores.
Pipe bomb. Yeah. It was I'm so tired of them already. That's so bad. But yeah, keep it one Survivor Series style match. Let it be the one you ended the show with. We're happy. Whatever else you put on there, fine. The 3 top matches seem solid. The other 3 matches, whatever you want to plug in there.
Let's just at least touch on a couple of the other matches that you called filler matches. We're not going to spend any time on it, but at least touch on what they were.
Which ones?
Ryback being upset by R-Truth, which
he's done.
Continues his downward spiral.
He's done. It was
Paul Heyman went off on him and ripped.
I was about to say they didn't even waste any time separating the promos. They literally. You would think the Paul Heyman cut, they could have saved that for next week. No. They said, fuck it.
We're going to tear down Ryback.
Not only are you going to lose to the suntan Superman, but you're also going to get your ass chewed out by Paul Heyman, separate you, and now you're just kind of going to go like on a downward slope. And I don't know who the hell is going to stop it. Dude,
The funny thing is we thought they were going to ditch Axel and keep Ryback. Boy, did that not happen.
No. Axel can actually wrestle. As boring as he may be sometimes, he can actually wrestle.
He needs a little more mic time.
He needs a little bit more mic work. If he does
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because the more time you get, the more practice it is. We saw that with Ziggler. Ziggler would get pieces here and there, and now Ziggler is fantastic on the mic when he's actually allowed to.
Yeah, well, Ziggler is a fucking... That's another topic, how bad. Me and Brian were talking about this on Facebook. And
they just missed a golden opportunity tonight.
Dolph Ziggler, he's done everything right. He's literally compared. He's the next thing compared to Cena as far as the company's yes man. And I don't mean that in a way like he kisses ass or anything.
He does what they ask of him.
Exactly.
Making a whole big thing.
Without making a big thing out of it, without overstepping his boundaries, without doing anything. And he hasn't had much of a fucking title run. They've given him the title twice, but he really hasn't had much of a title run. So it sucks to see Ziggler so, like, I guess you can say, like, just dragged down, because they did the same thing to The Miz. They wasted that time. I mean, Miz main evented, no matter if you love or hate the guy, the fucker main evented WrestleMania 27. He was a
good heel. He got
reaction. He was. Dude, legit-wise, and I think we've agreed on that. Regardless of what you think on him as far as wrestling skills, I think he was a decent wrestler, and he had great mic skills when it came to being a heel, and that put him over.
Yeah. He had heat unlike anybody else in the company at that time.
The moment where I realized Miz was going to be a big-time player was when Rock was cutting that promo, and he came in the ring and did the skull-crushing finale, and then he cut that promo on The Rock. From that point going forward, I was like, okay, this guy is fucking serious. And I really thought they were going to build off of him. And no, they
know how to vacuum all momentum somebody has until you forget they even had any.
Exactly. Right now.
Hey, remember when Drew McIntyre was Intercontinental Champion? And God, no, Greg, I'm not going to let that go.
That was another one. I mean, honestly, at the frame where they're at now, Miz, Ziggler, and McIntyre, and Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes, technically should be main eventing by now. Now, I mean, they're still in the, they're like, remember when Stephanie said B+ player to Daniel Bryan? They're still in that B+ class right now, which is not bad.
But they're put in the D part of the card.
Exactly. Well, I mean, as far as use of them, like, I'm talking about like popularity. They should be, Miz should have been at least going for the World Heavyweight title in one of the WrestleManias since 27. They have not done that. So it's just kind of like, you kind of fucked up there. Will he ever get a push again? I do not know. I mean, it's just like, I don't exactly know the direction that they aim or they're planning to do, but you can't, I don't know how you plan to build stars if you keep taking away their momentum. Randy Orton and John Cena are not going to hold that company up forever. Like
they're boring, honestly.
He's not boring, but he's just, we're used to him now.
He's boring.
And I think that's the part.
He is boring now. And what I mean by boring, he can go out and have a 5-star match. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about his in-ring ability.
Right.
He is boring on the mic because he is stuck in the same old thing. And he's almost like the anti-John Cena in that they both are the same old thing, but one is at least on the heel side of the spectrum that people love.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. Is Randy Orton's not boring in the mic. It's just Randy Orton. He's stale. Him and Cena both, they've ran the same course of. You got to remember, legitimately, those two were the only real stars that have really come out of what was the Attitude Era when they had it. Those two are really the only ones. So when we're just used to Randy Orton. We're used to Cena. That's why people hate Cena, because they're tired of his shit, because they say it's the same old shit.
And the thing you can give to Orton, at least, he's gone back and forth between face, heel, and also that tweener. He's at least moved around, so that's why he's not as stale.
But it has
somebody else that was getting stale a little bit because he was face, and he's not nearly as good as a face, and we're counting the days for him to return as a heel because he's much better off that way. And obviously he won't be stale anymore. It's Sheamus.
Yeah. But Sheamus, once more, that's a new face. I'm talking about the reason
why.
Yeah, it's just the reason why, and where I think WWE is fucking up, is you're not investing in any of your fucking new talent. I mean, you're using washed up players, and I don't mean washed up like they're old. I'm just saying washed up as in same old shit.
They're tired.
So
tired ass.
The Cena Del Rio thing, come on now. Like, you ran that course about a year ago. Let Sandow come in the picture. You should have made that a triple threat match, at least to make it interesting.
And they shit on Money in the Bank this year.
They did.
Shit all over it. It was meaningless.
Horribly. But, I mean, once more, it's just kind of like, damn
Even when Miz, who was a mid-carder, cashed in and they gave him the title, how long was his reign? He had a respectable...
he had a good reign. I think about 6. I mean, it was worth. Like I said, they made him a top contender at that time.
Yep.
And they just kind of dropped to go back to the same thing. The problem that they're having, man, is you're not investing in anything new. And if you keep putting Cena and Orton and Big Show, guys like that out there, you're never gonna build anything new, because when those guys' times come, it's gonna be kind of like, well, what do you have now? Because Punk, a lot of people forget his age is right up there with Cena and Orton. It's just he came in the business a little bit later than Cena and Orton. So I mean, it's just kind of like you really. The whole, I love what they did. I love how they did the angle for the face of the WWE, all that other stuff. It just should have been somebody new. Ziggler, personally, would have fit better in that new face of WWE angle as a heel, because it just would have worked better. Because
or how about you pick the chosen one who already had a background of being handpicked by McMahon?
But see, he needed that money in the bank in order to do that.
Oh, no, I believe me, he would have needed a lot more to do that. It would have made no sense to take 3 MB Drew McIntyre and be like, oh, face.
Just out of nowhere.
You'd have to go back years to fix that situation.
Exactly. And if they would have did it like that, if they would have just made it happen in that manner, then you could have had somebody. I like the idea of Cena holding the World Heavyweight title because it gives it more relevance. The people are going to pay attention to it a little bit more. Let Sandow go against Cena and get that belt. Let Ziggler or Drew McIntyre fit into that category of the new face of WWE. And then Randy Orton, I mean, I get what they were trying to do. They're trying to establish Randy Orton. He's already up there. I think it's time to take that title away from him. Don't let Big Show get another fucking chance at this title. It's time to stop using the past. Yeah. You need to start building. You need to don't let Daniel Bryan's momentum die. If they do, they're fucking idiots. I mean, it's not gonna die though. Daniel Bryan, he's already obviously proven you can put him at the beginning of the show. Those people love him. So I mean, it's not going to happen, but
he had a run like Punk had, where he was on the show 2 to 3 times, where they'd open with him, throw him in the middle a little bit, and then close with him.
And I think they're smart enough to know, because they didn't want to give Punk that credibility when he had the fucking build that he did. But you know what? They had to run with Punk because he had the popularity. The same thing goes for Daniel Bryan. Do not let this shit fucking drop. Let him be the top star that you need. That's going to be your new build, so that way you have a new face, and then go on and do that with the next few guys. I mean, it's simple, dude. Don't stop using recycled shit. So we'll see where that goes.
The only other filler match that I want to at least make a mention of, because the crowd reaction for it was amazing, as it always is, was Fandango.
Dude, you know what? That's another person who a lot of people fail to realize how over he is.
The gimmick is silly. Don't get me wrong.
But he's
cartoonish. But the guy is legit.
He is, and I think he's the character is over with the crowd, and there's nothing wrong with that, because given if you have talent, you can convert that character over to your talent to where you can build something new, and those same fans still follow you.
And that's the funny thing. As cartoonish and cheesy as his character is, it works. He makes it work.
It does. And that shows what kind of worker he is. So, I mean, hell of a job to him for that. That as far as what's going to happen for Survivor Series, we'll have more on that next week. So next, let's go ahead and transition over to the systems that are coming out next week.
Oh, yeah.
Or actually, no, it's this week.
PlayStation, right?
Yeah, PlayStation's this week, Greg.
On the 15th, yeah. Or the 14th, either or one of those.
Oh, and then the Xbox is the 22nd, right?
Right.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. So, Brian, what do you got? You're the GameStop guy. What's the scoop?
Okay, well, PS4 dropping this Friday. A lot of locations obviously having midnight events for it. My store actually not able to. We would if we could. But it's going to be huge. And I believe it was a company-wide offer they had going today only, being Monday, where people could trade in any old system towards the PlayStation 4 and get like 90% more store credit for it, which is ridiculous that they offered something that amazing for people.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. As far as the systems go, what I can tell you, both systems coming out 500 gigabyte hard drives. The one thing that we're starting to pick up on, everyone heard 500 gig and was like, oh man, that's amazing, but that was in comparison to what the memory requirements were for the previous generation's games. You're like, oh yeah, 2 gigs here, 4 gigs here.
How much are going to be for these games then? There's no way.
It's very different. I've looked on the back of the cases of multiple Xbox One and PlayStation 4 games.
Right.
For the Xbox One, for example, Call of Duty Ghosts, it says no more than, but up to 49 gigabytes.
Holy shit.
And the PlayStation 4 Call of Duty Ghosts says at least 49 gigabytes.
Is that just to install the game into your Xbox, or like the updates, or everything else that comes with it?
I think that's for everything, and I think that's why Sony's says at least 49 gigs, because you have to install it still. I mean, don't quote me on it, but I believe that's why there's that difference.
Like, I can understand if there's that many gigabytes if you have to install the game.
If you download, I'm about to say, if you actually put the game on the hard drive, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
But I mean,
now, as far as a little speculation goes, because, that's what a lot of this is at this point, because we still haven't gotten our hands on the system. So I'm going to speculate here and say down the road it might be a little bit easier memory-wise with Microsoft because of how heavily they're leaning on the cloud.
Yeah, that's good.
They, for Titanfall especially, Titanfall has been Microsoft's poster boy for how to use the cloud, because they're going to use it for their AI, they're going to use it for dedicated servers. So many aspects of Titanfall are on the cloud that I would expect very little of it is going to be put on your hard drive, so that's not going to have, crazy memory.
Imagine if they brought GTA 5 to Xbox One. Look how
for all I know, it could be 100 gig.
Yeah, that'd be crazy as hell, especially with GTA. How much space it took for fucking the Xbox.
Because you sit there and look at 8 gigs on the 360, and you're like, oh shit, But the only other thing that I have to say is I believe that Sony had come out, maybe a week or two ago, I had heard, and said that they would not support external hard drives. I didn't personally read that, but that's what I had heard. If that's the case, they did come out and show a video on how to take apart a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but that's too much work, though,
Well, on top of that, a lot of people are savvy in that area, and they go, oh, I could put a 1.5 terabyte hard drive in. Yeah, you could, but I would also speculate that would void any warranty you had.
Right. And it's
so a lot of people don't want to sacrifice their warranty.
And not the average person knows how to take a fucking PlayStation
apart.
No,
absolutely.
Yeah,
no.
So that's kind of stupid. That's one reason why I like the Xbox 360, because you're able to use flash drives and shit,
Yeah, you're not going to get me to go on record and make any kind of statement as far as which system is better, because they're so similar this generation. There's not one system where you go, oh yeah, hands down.
Right, you can't.
It all comes down to preferences. If you like entertainment stuff, little kind of gimmicky stuff where you can use the internet and split screen and stuff like that, then Xbox One is for you. If you're all about indie games, oh my god, Sony has such an edge in indie games. Yeah. It's not even funny.
That's crazy. Like was it 2 recent games I saw for the PlayStation 3? Like, if they're gonna have games like, was it Beyond Two Souls? That game's freaking amazing.
Beyond Two Souls did pretty well. Like, it didn't get the reviews I expected it to. Like, I expected that to be up in the 9s, like almost near Last of Us.
It was amazing.
And it got like the low 8s, I think.
My preference, I honestly thought that the story was a lot better than Last of Us. That's just my preference, but I can't explain how amazing of a game that was. It felt like a movie, even better than most movies out there.
Well, it had Willem Dafoe in it.
Yeah. Did you actually watch the storyline? Did you actually?
No.
Oh my god. It is. See, I sat watching a stream for 9 hours straight, just watching the guy beat it in 9 hours, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Like, no shit.
Yeah, and there you go. That's another factor.
See, I wish Xbox would focus more on gaming, not this whole entertaining. Oh, let's make your Xbox into. I'm obviously an Xbox, but
I told you guys, man. In my personal opinion, I don't see Xbox overcoming in the first year.
Yeah, but who has the most?
Well,
title
that's because it
launches?
started behind.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
because
not
of
an
how they
that's not a
poorly
fucking
handled
excuse.
E3 and everything like that.
yeah.
They shouldn't have even been at that part though. They shouldn't have even got to that. They should have came out, given the reputation and the quality that they've provided in the past. That bullshit they provided at E3 was
It's
unacceptable.
not bullshit. You
No,
understand?
it wasn't unacceptable, Greg. See, this is what people fail to understand.
It was a great.
What they're doing from their standpoint is very smart because they're marketing their system as not only a gaming system because they know that gamers will still get their system. They're marketing it to those people who are more in entertainment and go, hey, you want to watch a movie while searching the internet? Here you go. And people who don't even play video games go, oh, you know.
No, but he's also talking
It's
about,
not even that part.
he's
It was
also
the whole
the
thing
DRM,
about
the no disk
the
sharing.
that
Oh, yeah,
shit
no,
was
that stuff was
stupid.
retarded.
They should not have had to follow up with their press conference to fix their errors after seeing what PlayStation provided.
But you know what that
Microsoft
shows, right,
is
Greg?
more
You know what
elite
that
than
shows, right? It shows
It
that
doesn't
they're
show
willing.
anything.
It shows
It
that they're
doesn't show
willing to
anything.
listen to the consumer. That they're
No,
willing.
it does show, and I'm going to see, this is where you all of a sudden get called a fanboy of one system or another.
We don't have MVP in here. Don't worry, you're good.
No, he's not the only one. It's everywhere. But what I will say is, what they tried to do was do something innovative. They tried to be the first to try something
new. I agree, and I'm all on board.
And did they expect backlash from people? I'm sure they anticipated some. I'm sure they grossly underestimated it. And that's why they went and fixed things.
Fair enough.
Because their concept, parts of it were good. I liked parts of their concepts where it came to the sharing of games and stuff like that through the cloud, and how some of that worked. I did not agree with trapping people into not being able to trade games.
There you go. I
And
was just about
also
to
the
say
whole
that.
online thing. I mean,
I was just about to, dude. You cannot sit there and say if somebody buys $60 worth of a game, that's it. You can't. I mean, that would have hurt GameStop ultimately as well, because GameStop is built around.
Well, I'm not going to speak on the company just because if anybody from the company ever
I wasn't expecting that, but I mean, I feel that would have hurt the company if they would have went that route.
Also, what I'll say, and this is another whole concept of the cloud. Microsoft spent something like $700 million on a cloud farm they call Azure. For, like I said, dedicated servers, bigger friends list, all this kinds of stuff for the cloud.
right.
Because they plan on making the cloud a part of the future, and the Xbox One being... Somebody from Microsoft just this past week said they see Xbox One being around for at least a decade.
I heard about that. Yeah.
At least.
Well, hell, the 360 and all honesty wasn't too far off from that either. It's
7
still
years.
not far off of that. Yeah, it's not far from that at all.
No.
So...
And it could have
That's
lasted
one thing.
longer. They said too.
Now, Sony does have its own access to the cloud. They bought Gaikai, which is their version of using the cloud. And what they want to do with that is provide a form of backwards compatibility using Gaikai. The problem with that is it's not going to be ready for probably at least a year after the system launches.
Right.
So
they could probably use it like their second version of it then. I mean, we've seen them make upgrades.
right.
Yeah.
But the way they're using Gaikai is not as innovative as Microsoft, because the way Microsoft is using it is just a whole new way going forward to shape gaming. Now, like I said, both have their strengths and weaknesses, absolutely. You can't even debate that. I don't think any fanboy will sit there and go, oh, yeah, the one I like, it fails in this area.
I agree.
Both have their faults, hands down.
I like how the Xbox is going to be integrated with Skype. That's kind of cool. Especially
Well, they both have Skype.
Well, it's going to have a 1080p camera for the Kinect, though. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, God, don't even get me started on all the 1080p stuff that's been going around.
Yeah. So I like it.
And this is where it makes me sound like a fanboy, because I go against fanboys of other systems who just ignore facts. I don't like people that ignore facts. Oh, Sony's more powerful because they're having all their games put in 1080p while Microsoft is
720.
perfectly content with 720.
Yeah.
Do you know why, Greg and Des, why Microsoft, for example, will use Call of Duty wants Call of Duty in 720 for the Xbox One instead of 1080?
Because it's every year.
No.
Oh.
No, it doesn't even have to do with any of that. It's because both the people at Microsoft and the people who made this Call of Duty insisted that it be 720 so they can maintain 60 frames per second.
Keep it easier for them, basically.
Exactly. Because most people, not all, some people much prefer 1080p and more power to them. Most people prefer 60 frames per second regardless of the quality.
Right.
So yeah, I just don't think that that's a real case to make 1080p like the end all be all. Both have their purpose.
I think they're both going to be good systems, so,
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I don't hate on one or the other, because I'm jealous of some of the PS4 titles for sure.
Definitely the indie games. That's definitely one of the things I'm really like, aw, man, I wish,
Yeah.
But when it comes to launch titles, I'm pretty content with Xbox One's launch titles.
And like I said, Gaikai is like what they're hoping to be their form of being able to download previous generations games, I guess.
What is ours? What is Xbox One's? Obviously, there's my bias.
Well, Xbox, they made an interesting statement this past week, and I just hope they follow through on it. They said down the road they really would like to incorporate backwards compatibility somehow.
That would be pretty cool.
I really hope they do.
That's huge.
That's one of the main reasons why I'm not buying the Xbox One off the back, because I still have some play value in a lot of the games from my 360.
So how will that work, though? So if you bought
I'm keeping my 360 just for the sheer fact of GTA, honestly. Like, I'm hanging on to my old system, and I'm going to obviously have the Xbox One hooked up, but in the event that I just feel like GTA, I can switch my system over.
That's true.
Fair enough.
I like that.
What were you going to ask?
No, I was just asking a stupid question, but I figured out myself. I was going to ask, what if you play Xbox, the Xbox 360 version of Battlefield 4 on your Xbox One? I don't know.
The world ends.
Yeah. Made no sense. Crazy.
Yeah,
all right,
lots of great games coming out, too.
We'll see. We're gonna have to do a follow up after the systems come out about a month from now, see where they stand and all that. So
I'll try to go off of people's feedback that I know that have played the PlayStation 4, so because I won't have any firsthand, and then I'll give my very best impartial view of the Xbox One since I'll be getting launch day.
Cool.
Because I expect bugs. Don't get me wrong. Every new system has bugs. The question is how bad.
Right. That's how it is for each day one. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not really. I'm gonna wait like a month or 2 months so I can see how it turns out, and then I'll buy it.
Come on, Des, come play Battlefield with me. So
see, that's the only thing I want to play.
62 other people online.
That sounds so badass, but imagine how hard getting a tank and a fucking jet will be then.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right.
It'll be a bitch. It'll be fun though. So what else is going on in the world? That new Dolphins thing, that was pretty crazy. Shit.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't been following, there's been this giant story in the NFL where a player reported a teammate for bullying.
How do you feel about that, kid? Because I hear like you're not with it. You're not with it.
You know what? Honestly, first of all, I'll say nobody in the entire thing looks good. The coaches look shitty for not having control of their locker room. The guy who was accused of bullying looks shitty because the voicemails came out where he's using all kinds of racist terms.
And that video while he's in the bar too, going off and crazy.
Oh
and
yeah,
shit.
he looks terrible. Yeah. But then honestly, the victim, he looks just as shitty because he couldn't handle his own business.
He's a big ass, 6'5", something pounds, and couldn't handle himself. What a bitch. But I'm not
going to even go that far and call him a bitch.
Okay, okay, I take that back. I'm sorry, but it's just like I understand bullying is bad, but you're getting paid to.
He's a grown man who, instead of like going to the coaches, going to other
teammates, to the public,
or saying to the guy himself, "Hey, knock it off," he went and like. Basically, it's a situation like when you're in high school. He went and told the principal instead of fucking handling his own business.
Yeah. That is true.
I just shitty.
Even though I think everybody looks shitty in some form or another, I'm going to have to say and don't think this is me supporting a racist or anything like that, I'm more on Incognito side, who's the guy who's accused of bullying.
And why is that? What's your? Why do you feel that way?
Well, I'm not, like I said, not making excuses for what he said because it's inexcusable, but I also know what it's like to talk shitty to my friends. Like, you guys know firsthand, we go back and forth and talk crazy shit to each other, but none of us take it seriously. I mean, look at the first, 3 episodes of the podcast and all the piece of shit we said about Greg.
Fuck you guys.
Greg didn't call up a lawyer and go,
Not today. No.
You didn't do that, did you, Greg?
I don't think I'm that.
Probably
sensitive
call up
now,
Al
but-
Sharpton and shit, representative of the blacks.
Oh, God.
Fuck Al Sharpton.
Oh, yeah, let's not get Greg started on him again.
Not the fucking ambassador of black people. Fuck that guy.
Here we go. You had to bring him up, Des.
So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm so excited in that situation. I really just don't give a fuck. Obviously, bullying's wrong, especially in schools and shit. I think everyone's been part of bullying. Was it every 1 in 3 kids are bullied in school and shit? Some shit like that.
I'm surprised if it's that low a number.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are my statistics, so you know how they are. So,
So what you're saying is they're made up.
basically, I don't know. Obviously, it's wrong, but I don't know how I feel about this. I guess I just don't care.
Well,
Since when has Miami been, relevant? And all of a sudden this
That's
comes
the
up.
thing. It's unfortunate that the last time the Dolphins were relevant was back when Dan Marino was there,
Right,
and now the only time they're relevant since is this whole thing.
right. So it's really.
But just because the team isn't relevant doesn't mean this story isn't semi a big deal. Does it deserve the daily coverage and the updates every?
it's big when you got TMZ fucking on it.
It's just terrible. And now they end up losing tonight, so now everyone's going to be like, oh, not only is this going on, but now they're not even winning on the field. I feel bad for everybody in that locker room who didn't ask for this.
I feel bad for
And
the fans.
that's part of the reason
I'm about to
I
say,
point the
dude,
finger
only-
at this guy.
Only in Miami you'll see some stupid shit like this, though. Honestly, that's a stupid-ass story. I think
is.
it's stupid,
It's
but
the state
only
of
in
the
Miami.
bro.
The guy is a dick for narking on the guy, bully or no bully. Keep it in-house. Go to the coaches. Go to the league. Don't go to the press. What are you doing?
So, what did you guys do for Halloween?
I worked in the morning, went home, and stayed away from answering the door. I hate Halloween.
Really, to give no candy to kids and shit?
Dude, I hate Halloween.
Why?
It is, to me, the second most annoying holiday of the year.
Why?
Brian Brian said, ain't nobody got time for that.
Brian's like, nope. Fuck Halloween. How come? Why you don't like it though?
The
Wait,
good thing about Halloween are chicks
What is
wearing
your first
skinnier
hated
outfits than usual.
holiday?
Say what?
What is your most hated holiday then? Because you said it's your second.
Valentine's Day.
Oh. God.
Oh, okay. That took no time. You answered that shit extremely quick.
Because I've already got my holidays ranked.
So why do you hate them both then? What is your reasoning about
Okay,
them?
I hate Halloween because it's a fucking stupid holiday where kids come to your door and basically say something that they don't even follow through on anymore.
Brian, how was your
they say
childhood
trick or
growing up?
treat. What if I say, how about trick? What's the kid going to do? He's a 5-year-old dressed as like a teddy bear. He's not going to do shit.
Give him the middle finger.
You're just gonna challenge the kid like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like trick or treat.
Call him on his
I
fucking
pick
bluff.
trick.
Did you
That
ever
kid
go?
is
Have you ever
awful.
been trick or treating, Brian?
Yes, I've been trick-or-treating, Des.
And how was it?
Honestly, overrated. Even when I was a kid, getting candy was fucking overrated.
I feel bad
And I,
for you.
deep down, I was sympathetic to the person answering the door going, I bet they hate that their doorbell's ringing right now. I bet I'm being a pain in the ass.
But if you leave your fucking patio light on, obviously you're inviting the kids to your door.
One of my life goals is to dress up like a scarecrow and sit in a lawn chair with a bowl of candy with a sign that says take one, and every time kids come up to take candy, I just fucking like scream at them and
See,
send them
that's the
running.
spirit, though. That's what's fun. Why don't you do that?
Yeah. But I want to do that on days where it's not just Halloween. Like I want to do that all the time.
Creepy. I like it though. What about you, Gray? What'd you do?
We built a haunted house, man. It was actually a pretty big success.
Wow, how mainstream.
Dude, it was awesome.
What'd you dress up as?
Oh, I just directed. I didn't dress up.
You didn't dress up?
See, I always assumed that black people didn't go out on Halloween because of what happens in horror movies.
Right. That's what I thought. Greg?
Fuck you guys.
Were you pissed down?
Fuck you guys.
Doesn't make it any less true that that's what happens in horror movies.
I wish I
I'm
did
gonna
something
kick-
this Halloween, but I had school at night, so it was really shitty.
I'm starting with Brian. I'm kicking his ass. These racism comments. I'm over here trying to give quality product, and you guys just here just bashing my race over.
Bashing?
and over.
We're trying to, no. Honestly, now I take offense. All we're trying to do is get the truth out there about your people and disprove all these stereotypes.
Yeah.
No.
See? So no one did chase you and hunt you down and killed you because you're here with us right now.
Yeah. So you're welcome.
Positive and every negative. Positive.
Just go ahead, pin a medal on me for best spin.
God, I wish I did something. Next year I definitely will. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. I don't know.
Who's shopping for Black Friday? Let's start there. I want to know.
Not me. I'm broke.
I'm working.
Yeah, I got fucking. No, I don't have school. I can't use that excuse anymore. I don't know.
You know what, Brian? You want to know what, Brian? I'm gonna go ahead and tip my hat to you because fucking GameStop. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there now. Anybody who's watching this, you're welcome. They got some pretty sweet deals for Black Friday on
Really?
the
Do they? Like,
dude, they have some fucking legit deals on their games.
We usually do.
I will be there front and center to buy that shit.
what are you gonna buy?
Hey, that would be 2K14. They got it for like $30.
That's pretty good.
Like, fuck.
Especially just came out too.
And then I would buy Call of Duty if it wasn't gay. So, but I'm not going
See,
to.
Yeah, I've heard
this is the first
positive
time
things
I
about
didn't buy Call of Duty. I ended up just watching the story mode on like Twitch or
it.
something.
You feel better?
I don't know. Like,
That's so
like-
you see how torn he is?
Like-
He didn't
Yeah.
even know how to answer that. He was like
a piece of him is just crying
Like-
out, buy it.
I wanna buy it, but then again, like I don't know. Like I said, I only get games for the story, and the story was pretty satisfying. Obviously, how it ended, it's obviously gonna be another one coming up. Why wouldn't there be? So it's just multiplayer wise, I don't know. I definitely want to try it out, but I don't know. Like I don't know.
I will tell you this, both from friends and customers, I have not heard one good thing about that game.
I don't know. Like
I'm not exaggerating. We had a customer come in and trade it in the day after it came out,
Okay.
and these were his words about that game, and I quote, "It is an abortion of a video game."
So if there's a new Black Ops coming out next year, because I know this is like you just stopped playing Call of Duty games, and it came back to being how the original Black Ops 1 was, would you get it?
Well, I have no way of knowing if it would.
But if you
go
saw
back.
it coming out, but the same mechanics, the gameplay, multiplayer gameplay, and it was like, oh my god, it looks like Black Ops 1, would you get it?
No,
You wouldn't get it.
not without playing it like where I sign it out for a few days or play a pre-owned copy or something along those lines. I swore this year, and I've upheld it, I will never pay $60 or whatever my discount is with it. I will never pay that amount for a Call of Duty again.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
and that's from the heart.
That is,
Brian saying that from the heart.
that is a straight...
Dude, I'm all about Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is so legit.
It's fun. It's fun. I'll give you that. It's just hard as fuck, though. I don't know. I gotta get used to it. Like, I don't know. It's because I'm used to running in. I'm used to how Call of Duty is. You run in, get kills. This one, you have to work with a team. It's
Oh,
just,
you gotta work with
it's
a
a,
team.
I'm getting used to it. I'm
going to jump back into the subject of fanboys. I have had 3 different people within the past couple weeks say to me, I like Call of Duty because it's more realistic than Battlefield.
It's
and
not,
I literally,
though.
I couldn't argue with them. I could only laugh at them because that's such a ridiculous statement.
Battlefield's hard. If you don't have a good team, you're basically fucked. And
Everyone's entitled to their...
The thing that everybody hates about Battlefield, though, man, is because it doesn't take only skills; it takes knowledge. And I think that's the part where everybody loves Call of Duty, because I just personally don't see the challenge in Call of Duty.
Well,
There is-
how many games did me and you kills play in Battlefield? We'll be down and like we fucking pick it up with, awesome teamwork and win.
Dude, I have gone so try-hard in Battlefield, and I am able to backpack teams sometimes, but it's not like Call of Duty, where one person can carry a team to a win.
I like that
It's
there's no
still-
kill streaks. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. If you want your fucking support, you better have someone who knows how to fly a fucking jet, or you're fucked.
Oh, definitely.
So
And everyone's entitled to their opinion. Don't get me wrong. If you think Call of Duty's better, more power to you. Enjoy it. But to say that it's more realistic, that's not an opinion statement. That's something where it's literally a fact that is not more realistic than Battlefield. In what more realistic of a game are walls not even taking bullet holes that last? While in Battlefield you can destroy buildings. It makes no sense.
Yeah, and like quickscoping is so for real too. Let's quickscope. I hate that shit.
I heard this game took quickscoping in it.
I've seen gameplay and I still see it, so I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Ever since that entered Call of Duty, it's gone downhill.
And like a lot of kids consider it as like competitive. It's really like shitty. I'm not feeling it.
You know, guys, we really need to get out of this podcast business and just make quickscope videos, because I hear that's what all the kids do nowadays.
That is, and they get so many fucking views for some like 3-second clips, and it makes no sense.
Well, you know, 5-year-olds, they crave those quickscope videos.
It makes no sense.
So, I'm looking over the Black Friday ads now, given that we were talking about the shopping there, just going back in the subject. 50-inch TV for $229.
What? Where?
Target.
Yeah, you better be first in line.
But hold on, here's the kicker though.
The catch.
Exactly, and Brian knows. I think you have an idea of what that catch is. I think the brand is like Element or something. It's an
Oh God.
Oh God. It's not bad. It's still a good price though for a TV.
It's a 1080p. They have it listed as a 1080p television. For a 50-inch 1080p television for $223 or $29. That's just FYI for anybody listening, man. I
got my TV last Black Friday, and it was a 40-inch LG from Sam's Club for $200. I'm like, that's not bad.
I have a 42-inch Vizio, the one with the 120 hertz, and this TV is fucking superb.
You have a 42 inch, not bad. 42-inch LG though.
I don't know, Brian. Would you pick the 50-inch 1080p Emerson, or would you keep the or Element? I mean, or would you keep the 42-inch Vizio?
All about the 42-inch Vizio.
Vizio's good, but if you're, for example, if you're a family who is, trying to upgrade from the boxes to a flat screen, a 50-inch TV for $200 is a pretty good start. That's a pretty good start.
It's a steal. I think as far as for what I would buy it for, I think I would buy it simply to just keep it in the living room. Right. But then again, for what I do for gaming.
Yeah.
Because for me, an apartment, I don't know.
That's perfect.
I think either way, I think regardless, I think that's a good buy, and I think I'm going to go ahead and try to get it.
Gonna be in line. Good job trying to fucking stay in line all night. Are you one of those people who camp out? Honestly.
Oh God.
I don't camp out, but I mean, yeah, I'm gonna struggle to probably get there on time to get it, most likely.
Well,
yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. That's really shitty.
We had a guy come into our store. Speaking of people trying to get like hard to get things. And he's like, oh, I want to reserve the PlayStation 4. I was like, we're out of reservations. I'm like, He's like, oh, that's okay. I'll just show up and get one. I was kind of like laughing at him. I'm like, what do you mean you're going to just show up and get one? He's like, oh, I did it last time. He's like, I just show up and get one. I'm like, he's probably thinking he's going to bribe one of us, and that's not going to happen.
Would you do it, though? Would you take it?
No.
If he gave you $100, would you take it?
Bullshit, Brian.
No, I wouldn't. Because honestly, it's the principle with people like
so
that.
What about
I fucking hate people
$200?
Like no.
$3.
Still no, because
$3.
that could also...
Wow.
You know why? Because in the long run, that could also cost me my job. Okay. And my job rakes in more than that. Unless he wants to pay like a year's salary for me, fuck him.
Damn.
Plus, he was so cocky about it. I think I would just say no because fuck that guy.
If he's cocky about it, fuck him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, certain people, fuck them.
That is really
fuck them.
Yeah. Flat out fuck them.
So now that we're done bashing those kind of assholes who try to bribe us to get game systems, fuck them.
Has that ever happened? Have you been bribed before, though? Sorry, Greg. Have you been bribed?
No, I've never been bribed. I've had people try to bribe me, which is hilarious because the bribes are never good.
That's what I mean, though. Like, what have they tried to bribe you? Like, for what? And
I had a guy wanted me to sell him. What game was it that he was wanting? Oh, GTA. he wanted GTA a day early, and he offered me $5. I just started laughing. I laughed my ass off, and he goes, "Is that a no?" I go, "You want me to get fired for $5?"
That is stupid. And what did he say?
He was like, "Well, when you put it like that," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm putting it like that."
That's fucking stupid. How about you? Got you ever been bribed or tried been bribed?
Let me think. I mean, if I was, it was off of simple shit.
For fried chicken.
Fuck! I walked into that one. All right, so next topic is Des's topic, the pick of the night, the closer of the night. So, Destitute, please take it away.
Okay. It's not really a good one, but okay.
Don't sell yourself short.
Have you guys ever heard of saying that the world is like crazy, that's gonna end soon, or the world's as crazy as it's ever been? You guys ever heard that saying? Like, what a crazy world we live in.
Oh, definitely.
But have you ever thought that, like, even like during the West, during the Renaissance, how much more crazy it was then? Like, for example, as in blood-wise, killing-wise, torture-wise, how much more violent it was back then.
Like during the plague in Europe?
Yeah, I'm talking about like how people used to fucking cut heads and hang them up, or how they used to feed people to bears, or during how they used to during Rome.
So you mean like the repercussions? Yeah, that was.
My question is, do you think this world is as crazy as it was back then, or do people have a good, don't you think that compared to all the shit humanity used to do back then with torturing, the whole executing for no random reason, to how it is now, do you really think it's that crazy?
Stuff still goes on though,
but not as bad though. I mean, like
the only thing that separates then from now is we have different ways. Okay. It still happened. It's like Brian said, that shit still goes on. It still happens.
Yeah, now there's mass genocides using fucking poison gas as opposed to the sword.
Yeah, it's just we have a lot. We
still have people fighting over an alleged holy land. We still have torture. We still have genocide. We still have everything.
Regardless on your opinion on whether you think government off people or people off people or whatever you want to fucking say, at the end of the day, we're still in the same world, just with a different concept.
Right.
Plain and simple.
They didn't have nukes back then.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. They were the innovators, and we went in and we re-innovated. We took what they made.
We made killing more efficient.
More efficient. That's the best way to put it. As time progressed, if you really think about it, as time progressed, every time frame had its hit. How you brought up the way they did shit back in Rome, that was no joke.
Well, how much people do you see these? I know there still exist, but how much people do you see actually kill mass people for fun and giggles, shits and giggles?
It happens in third world countries every day. But
I know that.
It's not down in history anymore.
Right.
That's the big. I mean, that's how you know the world is as crazy as it's ever been, because it's at the point now where people can do that stuff and it's not even relevant anymore.
I mean, look how many people just ignored what was going on in Darfur for how long they did.
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
And yet people just were like, oh, whatever.
Even like all the genocides in fucking Africa, Rwanda, and Congo's fucking going through a lot of shit right now too. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, if you want to look at how things have changed, just look at, we'll use warfare as an example.
Right.
The evolution of warfare, it went from just barbarians running at each other with swords, and then you incorporate the way Romans fought with formations. Then you start moving up and technology increasing. All of a sudden you have guns, and you have people standing in straight lines just shooting at each other.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you move forward a little bit more, and you have world wars where there are trenches and tanks and gas. And now you come all the way to modern day, and we have fucking robots basically killing people for us, like drones and fucking automated shit like that. Plus, you have, you always have to worry about nuclear weapons, whether it's a country nuking another one or fucking terrorists getting their hands on one.
So do you think that another nuclear attack can happen? Like, you hear about North Korea
threatening... nuclear attack how? Terrorist or a country?
Country. terrorists, obviously, that's always going to be a...
I would say yes,
Okay.
but the only ones I see feasibly using nukes are if Saudi Arabia got their hands, or not Saudi, yeah.
Iran?
Is it Saudi Arabia? Huh?
You mean Iran?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
Iran or North Korea?
Well, yeah. North Korea's always been threatening, but...
Well, they're fucking crazy up there.
They just want their fucking food, from all I know.
Have you seen World War Z?
Yes.
Of
Greg, have you seen it?
course.
Okay, without spoiling the movie for anybody who hasn't, funniest part of that goddamn movie is they talk about how basically it doesn't spread in North Korea because the entire population removed all their fucking teeth.
Wow.
And the guy telling the story says it's the greatest feat of civil engineering in the history of mankind. And if an entire country did do that to avoid a zombie apocalypse, that would be pretty fucking impressive.
That is. Shitty, but impressive. But yeah, they're fucking crazy, though. North Koreans are crazy. How about the Russians? Or China, especially.
Dude, the world is crazy.
No, you know why? Russia wouldn't, because they're a huge-ass goddamn target. You could nuke them, like, anywhere and then take them, like... You could nuke them in Siberia. They'd probably take a day to find out. And China wouldn't do it, because who the hell would China nuke?
Fucking A, dude. The U.S.? Well, no,
Dude, we owe China so much money. Why the fuck would they nuke us?
They're our biggest fucking import, too, which is sad. So they'll lose all the fucking money if they did. So, I mean, I don't know. But obviously, I can see a terrorist, though, like, getting hands on a nuclear...
Oh, yeah.
You know.
That's the most...
Especially, like, unstable countries like Pakistan. You know, Pakistan and India might go at war anytime soon because how much tension's going on between them two, it's really shitty. So.
Yeah, no, they could definitely go to war. I just don't see it going nuclear because of how fucking close they are.
No. I don't like I said, I'm just saying, like, for example, if they went to war, that's a lot of unaccountable nuclear, so anyone could grab their hands on them and fucking, you know.
Sure.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So.
Oh, yeah.
It's just countries like
and
those.
that's another thing that's not new to the world. Terrorism's been around forever.
Like, honestly, how much would it take for North Korea to fucking, you know, maybe give up, you know, a small nuclear device to, you know, some kind of terrorist organization, you know? You can't really you know.
Who says they haven't already?
You know, it basically goes to the highest bidder who could offer them the more, you know, resources or money, you know, so that's the sad part. When countries have to resort to who can get the most resources for weapons of mass destruction. So, who knows?
Well, let's take this reality and add in a little bit of fun fiction. Have you guys seen the show The Blacklist yet?
I think so, yeah. Probably.
Greg, have you checked that out?
No.
Yes, I have. With the lights turn off
The
and shit?
show is incredible.
Yeah.
And the funny / scary part of it is a lot of what they talk about as far as these like people on the blacklist are probably real types of people out there.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe exaggerate a little, but others, not so much.
Like, elaborate. Like, for example, give us some kind of examples for those who don't know. So, like, what kind of people?
The blacklist, basically the background is it's a guy who used to work for the U.S. government who disappeared for 3 years while undercover in the field and then resurfaced, and then they found out he had been selling information to the enemy, and then he went back underground for like another 30 years or something, and he built an entire terrorist network, and he basically has this list of international criminals who are all offering some type of unique service or something along those lines. So some of the early episodes, you know, you have a guy who specializes in chemical weapons who used to work for the U.S. government but went rogue. And he's literally the most dangerous person in the world because he could kill mass amounts of people in so many different ways. Now, is that an exaggeration? Probably, but are there people probably like that out there?
Listen,
I would think so.
If this guy, and it was Snowden, can come out and able to leave like he did, I mean, anything's possible, basically, you know? So that's kind of scary. It is kind of scary.
Yeah, so, you know, it's a TV show, but at the same time,
look at Tom Clancy's
books.
books. They said all this shit was exaggeration until shit actually started happening. Like, for example, 9/11. You know, all his books were like, oh my god, he's just exaggerating. Not, you know, this would happen, and then it fucking happens, you know?
That's another techie subject, Mel. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, fucking Greg will start going conspiracy theory on us again.
Building 7.
Great.
That's all I'm saying.
Aliens,
Shut
real or
up, Greg.
fake?
Aliens definitely real. Definitely real.
Ryan?
Well, when you say aliens, that there are aliens out there or that they've been here?
Either
Like,
or.
are we talking abductionist or are we just
No,
talking
do you
aliens?
think we've been visited by aliens before?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Okay.
I don't necessarily believe all the
Abductions,
crazy
yeah, me neither. I don't.
abductions.
I'll say that I think going to the whole abducting thing, that maybe that's a little far fetched, but I definitely believe that
That's
an
a
artificial-
long shot at best.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can't
And
remember.
Oh,
it's
definitely.
feasible, but I think anybody to say that there are no aliens or any kind of intelligent life out there, I think they're ridiculous because the universe is so massive.
How do you explain,
How egocentric do you have to be to believe that we are the only living things in the
motherfuckers
entire universe?
on this one planet? And the only thing I don't agree with is when we're observing from a distance. So technically, we're making a hypothesis on other planets that are around us.
Mhm.
We technically don't know their living environment. We're going off of simply what computers are telling
And
us.
the other thing we know is how much do we actually know? I mean, how much is governments are holding? Maybe they know more. We don't. I'm not being conspiracy theorist here.
If I was to tap into the inner conspiracy, Greg, I would say when it comes down to knowing knowledge about aliens or anything like that, or anybody who's visited us, you got to keep in mind the world we live in, man. It's already crazy enough. So to present us with some crazy shit like that, we would not be ready for it. Not everybody would be ready for it.
Yeah, see, that's what I would say. I would say it's this whole conspiracy where they're like, where they go out of their way killing people to keep the secret and stuff like that. That's far-fetched and fictional, I would say. But I would believe that the government wouldn't want the public to know just for our own safety. Because it would create panic.
Here's my questions. How do you feel? I have two questions for either Brian or Greg. How do you guys feel that was it? I believe it was all over the news, like on YouTube and shit, that like one of Russia's prime ministers came out saying that they're real, and it was all over like internet, like Sky.
About aliens?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
You heard about that?
Remember that.
They came out and said, if you know that they're real.
But that shouldn't be something that surprises people, though.
But it shouldn't be something to hold, Like, come on.
It should be, because the world is not ready for stuff like that.
We can't even handle our.
I'm about to say we can't even handle ourselves right now. So taking on a whole nother concept of other life being out there.
How about this? How about we can worry about other planets when ours is almost dead from what we're doing to it, and we have to leave it?
Okay, Brian. Here's another question. Do you believe that there's actual, some kind of extraterrestrial intelligence that's working within the government? Either government. No, you don't believe that?
Are you saying our aliens infiltrate our government?
No. Let's just say, for example, here's one of the biggest conspiracy theories, Roswell. Now, the biggest conspiracy theory is one of those of the aliens. I'm quoting. I'm just trying to say what they're saying is working with the government and creating stealth technology and shit like that. No,
I don't believe that.
Okay.
I can honestly say, and from my point of view, I can say yes. I'm gonna say we got our I say a lot of technology that we probably got now. We if anything, I just personally feel we've had to have gotten it from some kind of artificial intelligence, because and when I say artificial intelligence, I mean in the sense of I think I said that wrong actually, because artificial intelligence is robots or aliens. The information that I think we got from aliens as far as what we've built, I think a lot of it comes off the technologies that they possibly possessed. Because, I mean, just because they're aliens and they can fly here doesn't mean they can't have malfunctions and shit like that. So maybe that's how it came down that we found it. Maybe Roswell does have ships, and I think a lot of the stuff that we have came from stuff that they found off of that ship technology-wise. So I definitely say yeah.
But wouldn't you say that's different than actually having an alien?
Oh, like guide us? Yeah, I mean, yeah, touche. I mean, I think they probably paved the way for a lot of things that we have, but to say that there's like an actual alien, because there's like people have that whole saying of like reptilians being in power or whatever. I mean, now that's a bit far-fetched.
That is far-fetched. I mean, is it as far-fetched as Scientology, though?
Since we oh god, since we have seemingly gone down the rabbit hole into this discussion of conspiracies, and seeing as how I believe it's the 60th anniversary,
Yeah.
I might as well ask this question. JFK assassination. Thoughts?
Okay,
was
well,
set up.
JFK was assassinated in the Cold War era and all that shit, right? And they did the investigation that Oswald wasn't affiliated with any kind
That
of...
was a setup. That was a setup.
I believe it is. I don't believe it's a setup within the government. Really, you really think that?
Yes!
I think the most plausible argument is that it was a setup within the Soviet or any kind of Cubans or Soviet. I mean, we did Bay of the Pigs. We fucking sent 1,200 guys to over there try to, assassinate Castro. Why would you? So you think they wouldn't do the same though? You think that they won't send a guy here to?
If you could sit here and lie to your country about the whole purpose of going to Vietnam, hell yes, they would hide about the whole thing that happened to JFK, dude. How does that man get killed? He got sniped from like multiple directions. That's evident. That is fucking evident that man got sniped from multiple directions. So to sit here and tell me that you cannot tell me you didn't see those snipers on the day that he's driving through Dallas, Texas? Come on now, man. And then to kill the prime
Secret Service
suspect
wasn't as elaborate back then. They didn't have bulletproof cars. They didn't have it like they have now.
Killed the prime suspect before he could even talk. It was full of shit.
The guy who killed the prime suspect was a nightclub opener by the name of Ruby.
No, yeah. that's full of shit.
And there's actual video of the nightclub owner going up to him and shooting him.
No,
they set that shit up. I'm sorry.
The only thing, and I'm not going to take any stance on who I think was behind it, but the only thing that makes me think that in general it was probably a conspiracy of some sort is the fact that he wasn't the only Kennedy assassinated.
He was not.
Look at the Kennedy's history, dude. The only one left standing is his wife, and she's so scared to say shit that you don't even see her in the media anymore. All the rest of them are done practically. So what is your reasoning why behind the government? I mean, fuck if we know. I do not know.
Greg just likes to blame the government. He lets everybody figure out.
I feel that
everybody else figure out why.
The Soviet Union was behind it, or the Cuban, because obviously we.
It was our government who killed that man.
Yes, here's the difference, and this is what Greg has realized and is smart about.
Okay.
To say it's the government is fine. Mm-hmm. To come up with a reason as to why it's the government, that shit'll get you killed.
Yeah. No shit. So you say the reason why they did is because of the whole Vietnam War?
No,
he's using that as a case in point.
Look at that. Exactly. If you look at that scenario for what happened with Vietnam, it was open. Look up the Watergate scandal, and you'll clearly see.
Fucking Nixon.
Yeah, now see, he was just a shitty president. I'm not putting that on the government.
Well, hold on now. Let's just not sum up his entire presidency and say he's shitty. If it wasn't for Nixon, we wouldn't have had any diplomatic ties to China.
Majority.
And who cares about China? Fuck China for all I care. Just playing.
Hello. Where would we be without China right now?
I'm about to say. A lot of the shit we have, a lot of my clothes would probably be fucking going back to the sweatshops right now, Des, if that was the case.
That's the point across where more shit need to be made in America.
I know, and that's why everybody hates Walmart, but that's another topic.
So, okay, so for example, let's see.
Oh God.
Another thing that JFK tried to do was regulate the Fed. Was it the Federal
Reserve?
The thing.
John F. Kennedy, I was about to say, there's a lot of stuff. John F. Kennedy, a lot of people say the reasoning for him being assassinated was because a lot of what he wanted to do did not comply. It didn't comply with what the Congress or what the government, whatever you want to fucking call it, what they wanted. So I'm not saying that's the reason.
What John F. Kennedy was, he was an exception to so many different things.
Exactly.
He wanted, the end of segregation, stuff with the government and regulations, foreign affairs. I mean, a lot of people didn't like him because he was the only Catholic president, and at the time that was a big deal because I've had conversations with my dad because obviously I didn't live through this stuff, but my dad did. He said at the time there was such concern nationally that because he was Catholic, if the Pope told him to do something, he would have to do it.
Right.
That's how paranoid the country was at the time.
Ain't that kind of shitty knowing that you can't have if this was true, like, where they have to follow a certain step of degree that, if a president does go up, they can't change anything,
That's the whole point. The president, in my opinion, will forever be simply a spokesman. The president is not anybody who truly pulls the strings. A president is not anybody who really is calling the shots. A president is simply the person who says, this is what's going on, this is what's going to happen, and that's that. I personally don't think they have any say-so over anything in this country. I personally don't think they have the power that's presented as what they would think they would have, or what somebody would feel that the president would have.
Are we talking in modern times or ever?
I'm saying,
modern
I would
times.
say, well, I can't say ever. I'm going to say modern times because if I said ever,
I would chew you out. And be like,
I wouldn't have
seriously?
anything. There's people like Abraham Lincoln who would go against my saying on that.
You would
part.
think fucking Teddy Roosevelt listened to people?
That too. Yeah, I mean, so there's definitely.
And he was also almost assassinated, right?
There was plenty. There's plenty of presidents.
Yeah.
Dude. It's the ones. History shows the ones who tend, and we don't really know shit. We just know what history was written. If you go off of what was written in the past, the presidents that were trying to make something happen were the ones who tended to get assassinated. A majority of them.
Or attempted at.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, Reagan too. There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like those kind of presidents. It's just kind of like at the time, yeah, they were attempted to get assassinated. Nowadays, you won't see that happen. But I mean, it's definitely. I don't think the president is simply how we present the podcast. Let's say if somebody gave us material, which by the way, people, we don't get our material from anybody. This is all top of the head, pretty much. Yeah. But that's like us presenting their material, and you think it's coming from us because we're the ones who bring the product, but somebody else is truly making it. That's what I feel about the presidents nowadays, and that's why I feel John F. Kennedy did not fit in the direction they were wanting to go because
I don't want to open up a giant other conversation. I just have trouble believing Obamacare is anybody's idea but his.
It's not.
I don't know about that.
I don't like it. I mean, what do you feel about it? I mean, Kills, honestly.
See, this is the conversation I wanted to avoid. I just wanted to make that.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, you wouldn't see much of an argument out of me on it because, honestly, I don't know the details for it. I know a lot of people hate it.
That's the thing. I don't know enough to really speak on it. I think parts of it, I like the idea. I don't like the execution.
What's the execution? Oh, how it came out. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't like how it's being done right now.
Yeah. I think
there are details
one of the biggest
I would want to know.
is
There's details I'd want to know more about before I speak on. One of the quotes I didn't necessarily agree with him saying was that it's better that everyone pay for emergency services for those that are uninsured. And I was like,
And I think another issue people are having is how you're able to keep your insurance plan if you like it, and you're able to keep your doctor. But a lot of people are like, that's not happening. I'm losing my insurance plan, blah, blah, blah,
And now, this is another thing I've only briefly touched on with other people in discussion, but all these insurance companies are raising amounts, crazy high.
Right, because they got to keep up. I mean, if you're going to provide insurance for everybody, they're going to have to keep up with charging it, and it's almost going to be like picture welfare for insurance.
Right,
that's the idea that
and
I'm
that's
getting from it.
The conversation I had with my dad about it. He's like, and you can't blame the insurance companies for raising it because for the first time ever, they have no information to go off of. These are people who have never been insured, so they don't know, if we insure them, are they going to use it a lot? Are they, so they have no information to go off.
Are they raising the prices to those who are going to be on a bubble plan, or to those who don't want it and want to do a different?
That's what I don't know the details yet.
Because you would think, oh, it's affordable.
I can tell you,
why?
Right. What we know for sure is this: whoever has insurance at the moment, either insurance companies are going to raise what you pay
or drop you.
So that way. Exactly. It's going to be.
I can tell you this. I have to apply for part-time benefits coming up this upcoming month.
Same year.
Yeah.
And in applying, I spoke to them and I was like, are they going to raise the premiums going forward? I'm like, considering all the changes with Obamacare and all that. And they said, honestly, we don't know. And I was like, well, this is shitty.
And if you don't do it,
because I could end up
and
stuck.
You get fined at the end of beginning of the year.
So
the whole fining thing is really fucking ridiculous.
To bring it full circle, you asked, is the world we live in crazier now than it was then?
Yes.
Absolutely.
in more ways than we could possibly continue to talk about. Absolutely.
We're talking about people fucking waiting in a line for 3 days for a new iPhone.
And
they're
know what the worst,
but not
the
crazy.
Worst part of it is crazy.
Not, I think not in a sense of, but crazy in the sense of how our mentality is now. You know,
it's not even that. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
And what we see, what priorities we see, like, you know, people rather fucking, you know, stand in line for, 10 to 12 hours for a fucking new phone instead of, you know.
Here's the one thing that's going to shut that whole... This is the one thing that's going to just end all be all for this conversation. You have to consider this. Dude, back during those times, once more, the Roman empires, if you want to look at the dynasties that were in China, etc., even going back as far as to when fucking Egypt, when they were building the pyramids, that was fucking, BC times. It's sad that they had more order then than what.
It's not that slavery.
Yeah,
they had more order.
So you're saying slavery is good?
Order. Oh my God!
No,
no, it's official. Greg literally just came out in support of slavery.
No, that's not what I'm trying to imply. What I'm trying to say is, at the time they had order.
Yeah,
they had
order through fear and death. Yeah, that's definitely.
And
okay,
imprisonment.
You're missing the concept. You're missing the point. They had order. I'm not saying what they did was right, but you cannot deny the fact that they had order. You look at it now, shit's so fucked up. We owe so many people money. We have so many countries who want to take us out. We have so many countries who want to be us. We have so many countries that align with us. It's just...
You know what I say? I say nuke them all. I'm done.
And I think what better way to end this conversation than Greg saying bring back slavery.
Bring back slavery 2014, guys. You hear it from here
We
first.
hear you, Greg.
I'm not supporting that.
We'll see what we can do.
I'm not supporting that campaign. Fuck that. All right, guys. It's been a hell of a time here. We're glad to be back. Next week we should be recording. We are going to be recording. I mean, honestly, the topics that we brought to you guys, that was truth. Some of you might say they're full of shit. You can go fuck yourself, honestly.
Yeah.
Some of you might say, you know what, never thought about that. Go look up the information. Educate yourself. Because the schools are not going to teach you what you can actually apply yourself. End of the day. It's not going to happen. I mean, the school is going to pretty much give you a piece of paper. The school works for you to get a piece of paper, but you're not going to really be able to educate yourself unless you actually do the research. So with that being said, thank you for tuning into the Showstoppers. I'm Greg. We have Brian. We have Des.
Hey.
YouTube, Twitter. Follow us. Like the page on Facebook. Do whatever you have to do. Get us out there. Promote the videos. Send the videos to your grandmother. Send the videos to your grandpappy. Whatever. Get it out
to your
there.
parole officer.
Slavery 2014.
Yep.
Send it to your parole officer. And anybody in jail.
Your slave master.
Fuck it.
Never gonna live it down. Peace.
Later.
Thanks for the views, guys. We appreciate it here at the Showstoppers. Please do us a favor and give us a big like down below. Also, we're on Twitter and Facebook, as we like to interact with our viewers. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see our most recent videos, be sure to check out the video down below. Once again, thanks for watching.